Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for attending the OFFA 2021 Virtual Film Festival. We are so happy to have you, and we're so happy to have you today on Multiculturalism Day as we celebrate the Women Who Give event. First, I would just like to thank our sponsors who make this all happen. So thank you to Zonta International and Zonta Oakville for funding this and bringing this to the festival. Thank you so much to our filmmakers who create all of these wonderful works of art to share with audiences. Thank you to our OFFA board members who do so much to create this wonderful festival and showcase all these wonderful films. Thank you to our viewers. This one is for you, as all of our films are for you. Thank you for your continued support and your engagement. We love all the questions that are coming in. I just want to remind you guys to, if you have any questions, you can post them in the side of the chat and we will ask them as we go. So we'd love for you to get involved. I also have a request, if you can please vote for all of our films, the shorts and the features, the documentaries. There's a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being a lower score, 5 being the highest score. So if you could please vote for all the movies, that way we can have an audience pick award. So thank you so much for that. And don't forget to ask your questions as we go. I just want to introduce now our wonderful guest of honor. We are amongst a hero and an amazing person. We have Al-Kader Habak. I hope I said it right. I practiced.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. Habak, you're the director. You fled to the UK in 2017. You were a cameraman and a filmmaker. You were working in Syria during these really difficult times, and documented 6 years of conflict. And then through that, you were able to tell this story, specifically her stories. A great title, by the way. So let's get right into it. How did you meet these 3 women, Fatima, Wim, and Maleke? How did that come, and how did they become the subjects of the film?
So in the beginning, back to 2014, when I was in Aleppo. So, and as you show in the film, Malaka, the third story in the film. So I was living with Malaka in the same hospital. And she's my friend. She's one of my friend, and we were together in hospital. So I noticed like Malaka, how she's like trying to change the society around her. So, and how she's pushing hard to change that, and how she's like just her mission was like just to stay in Aleppo and saving people from this horrible war. So that when I met Malaka, and like I noticed like she's a great subject for a film. So that when we were in the siege in Aleppo, so we start to shoot with her, me and one of the cinematographer. So we shoot with her around like a year until we fled to Idlib, from Aleppo to Idlib after the siege. So that when I met Malaka, it's because I know her very well. So, and I witnessed a lot of stuff she is doing when we were like, especially when you are in a dangerous situation, and even when she was in a dangerous situation, she was fighting, and she was like trying to push hard and change the society around her. So Fatima, it's in 2015 also, like when I went to Idlib, and I was visiting one of my friends. So I met her there. I met her in Idlib when she was like training some women. She was teaching them about their rights and how they can defy the culture stereotypes. So that when I like noticed like how this woman is like so strong, like to teach them. And she was like, I was sitting because she's working with an NGO organization, uh, supporting women. So, and I was like sitting with my friend and I speaking about her story, and that when like he said to me, come and like hear the story from her. When I go in, when she was training them, so I heard all her story. She was sharing her story with them, especially when her husband died, and when like she about to lose her children because of the rules of the society. So that when I noticed like she's a strong woman, she will do anything for her children. uh, I know her from the internet, from the social media, because she's in Lebanon. She was in Lebanon, sorry, and she was working in camps with women in camps, and she trying to give them a safe environment and a safe uh, space, like to explain themselves, you know. And that when I noticed also was like she will be a great subject. So yeah, that how I met them.
Well, they all just seem like incredible women, and we're so grateful that you were, in this position to give them a voice. Now, how did that feel, being able to be a man and be able to give these women a voice?
So that was like so hard on us, especially like because most of the crew of the film was men. So we only have one woman in the crew. So that was so hard on us because especially women don't open up for a man, especially when we were doing interviews with
Mhm.
them. So but because they trust us and we build this relationship together, so they have give us the trust. So yeah, it's that when like when we feel like when we finished the film, we felt this is like they give us what we want. But we yeah, that when like it's hard, it was a hard job. Like we read a lot of the about the women rights. We learned a lot of stuff. Actually, it was like a great experience. But filming with women, it's so hard as a man. Actually, it was so hard.
To
I,
understand.
yeah, you need to understand them, and you need to like it's like when if I'm like shooting with man and he's upset, I know how I deal with him. You know, he is upset with me, or he's upset from the situation I spoken about. I can know I know how I can deal with him. But if I am shooting with women, now I know, but before I don't know ever. Like uh, I was being in situations so worse. Like when I was shooting with Wiam and she's upset with some question. So but because I have the woman, she's working with us, Jana Ghassan, she's like understands the situation, and she go and speak with her about it. So yeah, it was hard, like, but actually it's a great experience. And now we we all we like, for me it's we we are the voice of them. This film is the voice of the Syrian women,
Yeah.
you know.
And you know what, you did such a wonderful job. It was just these voices that you could hear throughout the film, and they all had a different story, but the same baseline of the story, that they're women who need their basic human rights, and they're fighting for a cause that is so important. And with filmmakers like you who tell us these stories, it is so amazing. Now I just want to talk a little bit about your background. So after the bomb near Aleppo in 2017, you were injured, and you actually put your camera down and returned to the site of the blast to help save survivors. And you ran by toward an ambulance, and there was a photo captured of you. a viral photo. Wendy is going to share the screen now. You'll see it here. To our viewers, we are truly amongst a hero. So this photo, I mean, you're this selfless, heroic person who went in to do what you probably thought most people would do in that situation. You see a child in need, and you just ran in to save them. I mean, like, tell us a little bit about that experience, and you know, what you were feeling.
So being a cameraman or a cinematographer in war, it's so hard on us, especially in the situation like that, because it's important to film and document this stuff. It's happening around you, and it's important. It's more important, like, to save some lives. You know, like, we have a rule. We make up a rules, like, as because we are not a journalist before, so all the cameraman, Syrian cameraman, it's like uh, starting filming and starting, like, shooting in 2011 when the revolution started. So we are not, we don't get, we don't go to college, like, to study journalism or filmmaking or all this stuff. So in the situation like that, we have rules. Like, if we are in the situation like that, we book our cameras and we go and helping people. And when, like, the firefighter or the white helmet, we call it in Syria, came, we stepped back, you know. But when that bombing happened in 2017, it was a lot of people, actually. You know, it's like when you see someone dying and you just, like, documenting, like, you are a person, you can move and you have your camera and just to document, but because that is important, but it's more important to just, like, push your camera and go and helping these people. So that day it was so hard, on, like, not just me and all of my friends, we were there. So yeah, it's like helping people to survive. It's more important than, like, filming. You know, it's like, I know I will be, maybe if I, like, film some stuff, it's important, but it's more, for me, it's more important, like, to save, like, lives. You know, and for me it's because I live the siege in Aleppo, and I was working in hospital, so I saw worse than that. But it's like, I know how can I like offer help, especially in the situation like that.
And I mean, it's great that, you know that you can help both ways, right? Documenting it is just, it is very important. But being there with hands that can help, I mean, you're put in that situation, of course, you're going to do what you need to do in that moment. And I mean, your story is just, it's so inspiring. And you're so humble about it. And you're saying, it's probably what anyone would do, but some in fear might not do that. So you are definitely such an inspiration, and your strength is so amazing. We do have our first audience question for you. What was it like living in this war-torn area? Were you constantly worried?
So living in, like, in a war zone, it's a great experience, but in the end, it's a war zone.
Yeah.
You know, it's you see people die, you see people get injured. Sometimes, like, you can't offer any help. You know, and fled out of this zone, it's more worth than being there, because when you go out and when your body it's feel you are in the safe environment, you will, like, have all the flashback, all the stuff you was, like, like, for me, I have this stuff, like, I suffer for 2 years from this stuff in the UK. So it's all the flashback, it's coming up, all the stuff I see, and my body push it, or my mind push it out. So it's came up when I am in the safe environment. You know, it's for us, the war is, it will be never ended until like the Assad regime will gone. So especially like for me, is like my family is still there. My family is still in Idlib, and it's a zone war. You know, it's you will never like get out from this stuff. Uh, yeah, it's a bad experience, and it's a good experience, and it's complicated actually. It's no one can explain this stuff, you know.
Well, I mean, even the way you're telling the story through the eyes of these women, you can feel the pain, you can feel the trauma, just through a screen. And I mean, to be here and sharing such deep personal feelings that you were feeling throughout this. I mean, thank you. It does bring awareness. It does educate our viewers and everyone around to know what's going on in the world. And you know, sometimes, you know, the media doesn't get it right, or they don't get it right at all. And you know, it takes filmmakers like you to share these truths and these real things, these stories that aren't always the number one thing to be told, but they are in desperate need to be told. So thank you so much. You know, I think what maybe the viewers are wondering is what can we do to get involved and to help to create awareness?
So, you know, it's like most of important thing to understand the situation, you know.
Mhm.
Like most of the people, for example, about the film, it's like it's a big point from me, like to do this film or push me to do this film. It's because when I came to the UK, like most of the people like feel the woman, it's the Syrian woman, it's more um, helpful and powerless, helpless and powerless. Sorry. So that when I thought is like, why are you thinking about, especially when like they asking like all the Syrian women or all the people in Syria is like going and living in camps, but they don't have a choice, you know. It's like it's just like hurt me, and I want to do this, and I want to show the people like this people, you know. It's like we are in 2021, and there is some people still fighting for their right and for their freedom, you know. It's hard, and this woman is like apart from this, like they even like they've been through a lot, they get injured, they fled from their homes and all this stuff, but they're still fighting, they still believe in themselves and believe in the revolution and in the change they are creating.
Now, do you still have contact with these women, or are you able to see what they're up to? And
Yeah, I'm still in contact with them.
now, near the end of the film, when you guys were, when it was Maleka's turn, and you were in the hospital, and she was on the way to the ambulance to somewhere else, and then that bombing happened. I mean, that was obviously not planned. You didn't know what was happening, you know, and then her getting injured. How long was that period of time for her to kind of get back and rehab and come back to shoot the rest of it?
Uh, it was like 1 year,
Oh,
1 year to recover. So for me, so it was so hard for me to direct the film from the UK, especially because like when this situation happened, like you know, uh, for example, like for a moment I thought she's died, you know, and it was so upset, and I spent like 3 days just trying to connect with the people like in Turkey or in Syria to see what's happened to her and what she's in the surgery, she's out of the surgery, what situation she is in. So yeah, it was so hard on us, like especially I'm in the UK and they are in Syria. They are in like a dangerous situation working there. For example, when also like when Mustafa was filming was filming Fatima when she's trying to escape to Turkey, and when that bomb happened, when the Assad regime bombed them when they are on the way. So just Mustafa sent me a message and he said, we bombed by the Assad regime. And then he disappeared. So I spent like all the day trying to contact with some people inside Syria to see if like what's happened to them. If they like get injured, if they died, if they like saved, what's happened to them? Until like Mustafa, he texted me back the next day and he said, yeah, I'm fine. And Fatima managed to escape to Turkey. So that is the most like hard thing. It's like directing a film from far away when like some people put their life in like dangerous, like to just deliver this story, you know.
Now, you probably spoke with these women a lot, other than just the dialogue of the film, and they definitely had their struggles. Did they share with you the struggles they had with other women, and trying to not convince, but educate them that like it's okay, to know more, and there's nothing wrong with the religion. It's just some things that are misunderstood, and I think that's the part. It's misunderstanding, right?
Yes, yes. Not just the misunderstanding, but the people of the religion, like they um, they are the problem actually. you know when like people have some audience and they give them the ideas and this audience like believe in them and they get this idea and go and publish it for another people and speak about yes, we have this experience with Wiam because she's working in Lebanon with some women, and actually like she's like suffering from this stuff because a lot of women ask her and she has like she's listening to more than 100 like story by a day, and that is like and it's because like you have your stuff, it's like when you have your stuff and you're suffering from your stuff and also listening to another stories and it's hurt you.
It
it's
weighs on you.
yeah, you will suffering also from their story. So yeah, we have this experience with them and they share some of it with us, but it's like because um, the budget of the film is a low budget, so we thought in the beginning we will do like hour and a half of film, um, and we will continue film with them like another year, but we didn't manage to get anything to secure any other fund. So after like 3 months we can't secure any funds, so we go with what we have actually.
Well, I mean, you got amazing footage. I think you really showed a lot of important scenes and things that you don't necessarily see in the news, and these are important. One thing I did love was how these women they just advocated for how important educating them young is, right? And educating everyone around, because the more you educate, the louder your voice can be. And it does start there, but then it's moving up into changing legislation, and seeing these things in law change, and that's when the true action comes. And you did a beautiful job at capturing that, but also showing that there is a long way to go, but still there's hope. And for Fatima, Wham, and Maleke, they had such a momentum. Now, you do you believe that they can keep this momentum up, and keep that this women's movement going into like some lasting change?
Yes, they will. Like, like as I said before, they get injured and they going through a lot and they still fighting. For example, Malaka, she has a chance like to leave Syria and go to Turkey and work there and get a better salary there and start a new life. But she wouldn't. She just want to stay in Syria and helping more people you know like Fatima, she's like in Turkey now, but she's working with the organization who helping women in Syria, inside Syria, also as we am, she is now in Netherlands, but she's working there also with another organization who's helping Syria, helping and supporting Syrian women inside Syria and Syrian women in camps. So uh, when the when the change when the change start, you will never like thought I will back to when I was, especially when it's because when the change start because of the revolution, you know and the revolution it changed everything around you. It's like we will never like they will uh who's like say that I think it's Malaka when she said like the revolution is get me out from the dark to the light, you know. And when you are in the light, you will never go back into the dark.
Yeah. And I think you appreciate the light so much more once you've been in the dark, and to see the smiles on their faces even after everything that they've been through, it's like, wow, how can you ever complain about your life when you see someone here who's able to find joy and to find happiness in darkness. Now, I mean, this film, you could have probably made it into a series. There's so much to share. Had you had a bigger budget, would this have been, would you have included different plots? Would you have just lengthened their stories maybe, or maybe there's a part two coming?
So I don't think so now, until now. But we're trying secure some funding to deliver more Syrians, more women's stories as a part of the marketing of the film.
Mhm.
Yeah, we are trying now, but it's never. We'll never know.
Well, this was the world premiere for this film, was it right? How
Yes,
exciting.
this.
Congratulations. We hope, this
Thank you.
does so well. You said you have some other festivals coming up this year as well?
Yes, I have two in Canada also, and one in Europe. Yeah,
Amazing.
it's feeling great. It's like after fled from the war and start a new life, but you're still able to deliver a story from there and to deliver the voice of the people who doesn't have a voice. It's just feel great.
And I love that, there's the ones who are in Syria making a difference, and the ones who are not in Syria still making a difference. And I love that you can do both. You can be there and be away and still make a difference.
Yes,
And to any viewers who are at home, we can do stuff from Canada. We can create awareness. We can, share the film, talk about the film, and just have a better understanding. And I think COVID has taught us a lot, and I think compassion and understanding are definitely on the list. Um, yeah, I mean, one thing I loved in your film as well, the line, "There's nothing more valuable than your soul." And, I think a filmmaker, they give a part of their soul when they create a film. And, we are just so grateful that you could share a piece of that with us at the festival. It a picture says 1,000 words, but a film does even more than that. And your film did so much and taught me so much. And I think our viewers really, really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for being here.
thank you.
I think that's all the audience questions we had. I just want to remind our viewers, please don't forget to vote for your shorts and for the features. There's a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being a lower score, 5 being the highest score. We'd really appreciate that. We still have 2 more days of the OFFA 2021 Virtual Film Festival. Lots more great films and Q&As. So thank you to our filmmakers, thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to our viewers. We really appreciate it. And for the love of movies, thank you so much. Have a good night, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.